Hey guys, OGalbina here, bringing you guys our CGT Week 7 battle against Matt O'Shea and his Montreal Latios. This is a must-win game. We have to keep the winning streak alive in order to make playoffs this season. And we got to get through Matt's team to do it. And he has a pretty terrifying squad, but I think we have a really solid build, and I'm definitely excited to show it off to you guys right now. But yeah, with that being said, let's go ahead and jump on into the team builder. But if you guys do enjoy today's Wi-Fi battle, be sure to drop a like and sub to the channel. We're on our way to 2,000 subs. I'd really appreciate your support along the way. We're also currently doing a giveaway of a copy of Scarlet and Violet. If you want to enter in that giveaway, all you have to do is sub to the channel and comment on a vid from here all the way to Scarlet and Violet. And you could be randomly selected for that and get your game for free, which is awesome. Alright, that being said, let's jump into the team builder. If you want to skip ahead to the battle, there's a timestamp on the screen as well as in the description below on when that starts if you want to skip ahead. Alrighty, let's do it. So, our team, if you did forget, consists of Mew, Dragonite, Thundee, Toxapex, Blacephalon, Crocodile, Klefki, Lucario, Audino, Appleton, and Shuckle, while our opponent's team is at the bottom of the screen, and it consists of Latios, Scizor, Terrakion, Swampert, Porygon 2, not Porygon, Tangrowth, Toxtricity, Mimikyu, Aerodactyl, Sneasel, and Turtonator. Biggest threats to me, Latios is a big issue. I don't switch in well to it consistently over the course of the game, especially if it's like a Specs variant, which is what I'm really expecting. I think Specs Lati is incredible versus me, but we'll see how that ends up going. Terrakion and Aerodactyl, the combination of the two can get very overwhelming for my fat that I have for them. So again, we have to be very careful about Terrak plus Arrow, whether it be the Scarf Track, Band Track, Swords Dance, or Rock Polish, on top of like a Dragon Dancing Aerodactyl can be really scary for me. Swampert is always really annoying. It's a very tough mon for me to break. I expect Spadef Swampert this week in order to take on something like a Blacephalon. I'm hoping to force it in with something like my Thundurus or Lucario, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. And then there's also that Toxtricity, which is a huge threat. Depending on what button it clicks, it pretty much 2-hit KOs my whole team, and I have to play around it very peculiarly in order to ensure that it doesn't OHKO everything that comes in, right? And yeah, other than that, I don't think something like Tangrowth is all too great against me. Scizor is pretty bad versus me, in my opinion. Mimikyu is really bad, in my opinion. Then things like Sneasel and Turtonator also just aren't very good, in my opinion. So he has a lot of things that I personally think are pretty bad into me, so it kind of narrows down what I think he should bring. But again, we still have to prepare for everything and get ready to go. Alrighty, first up we have our Dragonite, rocking out the Choice Band, multi-scale ability, outrage, superpower, dueling beat, and extreme speed. EV's he got 52 HP, 244 attack, and 212 speed with a jolly nature. Honestly, this is just strong extreme speed priority to pick off things like Latios. Even weakened Terrakions from like, you know, low amounts can be really nice. But also Pokemon to force in things like Swampert to force damage on them. Having that banded superpower to break through things like Porygon. Having banded dual wing beat to break through Tangrowth. Having a bunch of really cool options, and the flying resists are really lacking here. He does have the Terrakion. No, Terrakion doesn't resist flying. He does have the Toxtricity and the Aerodactyl, and that's about it. There's no other flying resist, so being a dual wing beat does very well if we can position ourselves in on something slower and force them out, like a Tangrowth or something like that. We pretty much force a 2-hit KO or force a ton of damage on things, which is really what D-Knight is here to do, as well as pick things off with extreme speed. Next up, we have our lead in Thundurus, rocking out with Volt Switch, Thunderbolt with Grass Knot, and Knockoff, 4 attack, max special attack, and 252 speed with a naive nature. This thing just functions very solid in a lead scenario. It really leads well into almost everything on the opposing team that I can kind of knock off and then just deal with from there. We have to be careful about Scarf Lati, as it can knock us out, especially because we're naive. So we'll probably hard out on a Lati lead just in case he does a Scarf variant, because it's not a terrible bring into me, right? Other than that, though, we can kind of just knock off into either Volt Switch or Grass Knot. An Aerodactyl lead would also be pretty unfortunate, but I don't know if Arrow leads, because again, I feel like it's also a very good win con or just Dragon Dance Breaker, and I also don't think it's going to, it can really afford to risk me being either Prankster Thunderwave or a Scarf variant. Just seems kind of disadvantageous for Matt, so yeah, that's going to be Thundee. Let's go ahead and jump into the next member, which is our Fizdef Toxapex with Regen, as its ability Scald Haze, Recover Toxic. Pretty simple stuff. This thing is here to check the Scizor, it's here to check the Terrakion, it's here to check the Mimikyu very well, it's here to check the Aerodactyl, it's here to check the Sneasel, it's here to check the Turtonator. So Pex does really well into a lot of this team. I understand that Shuckle won't be a factor against Aerodactyl because of Unnerve, But I figured it was really nice to have versus a Terrakion that sword stance up, or potentially a Swampert that I really need to get a Toxic off on and say I'm a little bit low or something like that. Or I just want to keep as much health as possible for me to regen out the next turn. I figured that was pretty valuable to have for big pecs here. And yeah, it's just a good physically defensive stop to a lot of his build. Next up, we have our specially defensive stop to a lot of his build in our Mew, rocking out with Psychic U-Turn, Roost, and Spikes. This is going to be our main Lottie check. We're here to kind of pivot in, take a hit, U-turn out to grab some momentum after we potentially grab a Spike or something like that. The Spike plus potential... Yeah, no, the Spikes. Sorry, we don't have rocks. The Spikes are potentially very, very potent versus Matt's team, really chipping them all in a range of our upcoming Blacephalon, our Lucario, or our Dragonite to really put in a lot of work and facilitate those end games that we really want. So yeah, Spike's Mew is going to do very well in that sense. Next up, we have said Choice Scarf Blacephalon with Flamethrower, Shadow Ball, Trick, and Overheat. 164 HP, 12 defense, 228 special attack, 4 speed F, and 100 speed with a modest nature. We are pretty bulky on this Blacephalon to take like Adamant Life Orb Shadow Sneak from Mimikyu, I think. I think it might even be after Rocks because Mimikyu is terrible. Though I don't think Mimikyu is coming. Mimikyu only comes, in my opinion, if he's super scared of Blacephalon and he wants that Shadow Sneak to revenge it. So I'd like to have a way to revenge that, obviously. And once we can chip down things like the Porygon or the Swampert, respectively, it is really hard for him to deal with the dual stabs of Blacephalon. So that's going to be kind of what we're going for. If we can eliminate things like Latios, Terrakion, we can even trick away our Scarf pretty easily. Give it to something like the Porygon or even the Swampert and make them much less bulky and make our Blacephalon a lot more bulky. And, or I guess in the case that it gets, you know, like a Leftovers or an Assault Vest from the Swampert. Not really from Porygon. Don't get the UV Light boost, unfortunately. But yeah, good endgame win con if we can just chip down things into range and figure out which stab we need to lock into. Whether that be Flamethrower or more than likely Shadow Ball if we get rid of that Porygon, which is very liable to get chipped down this game in my opinion. Then we also have our Lucario rocking out with the Life Orb. Justifies its ability Focus Blast, Flash Cannon, Bullet Punch, and Extreme Speed. We got 20 HP. Not 20 HP, 20 attack, max special attack at 236 speed with, I think Rash is plus special attack minus speed F. I don't know, I forget. Regardless, this Pokemon is a KO machine in this game. If we can position it correctly, Focus Blast plus Flash Cannon is really, really tough for Matt to switch into. We have dual priority. Bullet Punch is great for things like Terrakion, Aerodactyl, Mimikyu, whereas Extreme Speed lets me pick down, other big threats on his team, such as, what do you call it? Things like Latios and things like that. So, yeah. That is going to be the team, I believe. That is. I will be right back with the battle. Alrighty, guys, here we are with the battle. We are connected with Mr. Matt O'Shea. Let's see what he has. I'm presuming Tarak, Arrow. Yep. No Tarak. You brought Tangrowth and Scizor? Scizor. Arrow. Tangrowth. Latios. Sneasel. I really wish I was Rocky Helmet now. It would have been so much better. Swampert. So as per usual, we're just going to lead off with our Thundium. We're just going to click Knockoff turn 1. The only thing that immediately forces me out is either Arrow or the potential of a Sneasel lead. And the only really, really scary things. But I think we have the pieces around this. And yeah, good luck, have fun. And Mr. Matt, let's see if he messes up his ability and he's not unnerved on his Arrow. That would be best case scenario, but we'll see how it goes. What's he gonna lead off with? I can see Hurt, Sizz, Tang being great leads. Smough. Okay. He's Pressure. So he isn't the right ability. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to go hard Pex then. There's no reason for me to mess around with this, right? Yeah, that's what we'll do. You get Rocks up, you Rock Blast, it's fine. Matt O'Shea clicking Rock Blast. He's Pressure, so I don't have to worry about him popping me with an EQ, right? And there's no Tox, by the way, which is insane. I just Toxic here. It takes a lot of pressure off of my team. Taunt? It's like you don't beat me. Very interesting. I'm just gonna Scald. Big Scald burn. Into something. So he's like anti-lead arrow? Why? For what reason in particular? Interesting. Burn? Punished. Lum? How much do you think this Earthquake's doing? So he was Lum, Pressure, Arrow. We're just gonna Scald here. Get off a ton of damage, and get another burn, which is really nice. Hex is gonna shake off the taunt, and what I kinda wanna do here is honest to god pivot Thunderous, because he'll die to burn, or he's gonna taunt me here, or he's gonna Earthquake. So we're gonna pivot Thundy. He's gonna taunt. That's fine. He died to burn here? And being that this is burned, I'm completely fine with Volt switching. This is gonna do nothing. So we're gonna Volt. Rock Blast. 1. 2. Perfect. So, lead arrow is gone. A very interesting set, to say the least. I wanted to Volt Switch out to not position myself badly into the rest of his team, but yeah, we're able to get rid of that guy. There's no Porygon either, so provided we chip down the Pert, we just win with Blacephalon, which is really nice. I think what I'm gonna do is, do we go Lucario? Yeah, I think I kind of like the Lucario pivot. Yeah, we're gonna go Luke. What it should do is it should force in the Lottie and force into either Psychic or Mystical Fire, which gives me a better pivot into my Mew. And we can kind of go from there. Arrow being gone is also Extreme Speed Resist being gone. So, that's nice. It's also a Fire Resist being gone. So, Flamethrower endgame is also very, very possible. Tangrowth. Okay. I'm assuming AV, which is something I want to knock off. So I'm going to go back out into Thundy, predicting either a Focus Blast or a knockoff, or a Focus Blast or an Earthquake. Potentially a knockoff, but I think that would be a crazy play. I think he's probably just going to attack what's in front of him right now. And he has to also scout for Sludge Wave. Leech. Dude, I would have done so much fucking damage to this thing. Okay, from here, just gonna knock. Yeah, just gonna knock. He can scout for Sludge Wave if he wants. Just gonna stay in. As is the O'Shea way. We get rid of his Rocky Helmet. He knocks us off. And we're gonna go down here. You're having Matt O'Shea moments indeed right now. So from here, there is no flying resist. I think I'm gonna go D-Knight. And just click Dueling Beat. Yeah, that's all we're gonna do. We'll go ahead and drop one. If he goes hard Pert, this is a potential 2-hit KO depending on the Pert set. And if he's more Spadef, which I assume he is into this matchup, then we're in a really good position. Yeah, Dueling Beat is a raw 2-hit KO on Pert. So, that's nice. 2 more physically defensive Tangrowth. We do not kill with Dueling Beat. But hey. Let's see. With our Thunders, how much should we do with Knock? So we're gonna Dueling Beat. He can't do anything besides leech us. Miss. Miss. Hit. Again. That's fine. So we're just gonna Dueling Beat again. Just gonna Dueling Beat. As he probably gives me this thing. I would presume he gives me this guy. So, we'll see. He's definitely thinking, though. He has to give me a Pokemon. Let's see. Because, again, I'm really assuming that he's Spadef Pert on this build. Spadef Swampert. Leech Seed. It's still a 2-hit KO after Leech Seed and Leftovers. Where's he thinking about going? Everything on his team gets 2-hit KO'd. There's not a Pokemon that doesn't... Yeah, okay, so he's going to give us a Tangrowth, which I'll take. Awesome. Now let's see with our Mew. Let's make sure. Latios. Not choice specs, but non-boosting item. 2 Draco Meteors. After rocks. Does not KO us. Because we are very Spadef. Razor Claw comes out. Which is Sneasel. I'm okay with that, though. I'm just gonna switch. Go Pex. No Terrakion makes my Lucario much more expendable to use as well. Just to get chip damage off with bullet punches and shit like that. We have Lottie, Scizor, Sneasel's Pert left. Which is all fine and dandy, to be completely honest. We're gonna switch. There's no reason for me to... He's gonna make the double. Into Lottie. Lottie. Okay, I'm gonna bait a Scald Burn. He could be like some Sand Tomb shit, but this is the only thing I need it for, really. I still have Lucario to stop Sneasel from just beating me, you know? Just gonna Scald. Substitute. So he's like sub Sand Tomb. Now is it my best play to pivot out on this Sand Tomb? Let's see. He's super Spadef by that, right? So 50 Dragonite rocks if we are at 109. $109. I think I'm gonna pivot out on the Sand Tomb. Yeah. And from here, we don't die to a bullet punch. So we can just, do Wing Beat. Live. Just have to hit this. Do. Now, for Pex to not break this thing sub, how much Spadef does he need? Not really. Now, what do we want to do? Do we want to go Lucario and risk a Focus Blast? Because Lucario Focus Blast does net me a KO. Yeah, we're doing it. He's not invested in attack, too, based on that. Sand Tomb also does not kill me. So I'm just going to Focus Blast. We just have to hit. And we're in an amazing position. We just have to hit. He's going to withdraw into what? Soren. Oh, we hit this thing. We're doing a ton of damage. So we do hit. That's a ridiculous amount of damage. Oh my gosh. Okay. We do a little bit of damage with Life Orb. This Lucario is looking phenomenal right now. What we're going to do is we're going to pivot Mew. And we're going to U-turn. Soaring, flying. Okay. So we're gonna go Mew. Is he double? Like, cool. And from here, I U-turn to keep up momentum. Terrible. It's fine. Crit. Great stuff, Nathaniel. I'm glad I U-turned, because he got crit Spadef drop. And from this position, we're gonna go probably Lucario, right? No, I think Blacephalon is our play. Blacephalon is our play for sure. We know he's not Scarf. There isn't really a Ghost Resist. He's gonna withdraw. Slotty is in range of priority. Swampert gonna come out. That's just fucking nothing. What I think I do here is I go Pex. Yeah. I go Pex. Wow, is that AV? I feel like that has to be AV. Even if that's Spadef, right? We do way more with Shadow Ball. He's like quite literally has to be Assault Vest. So he's gonna flip turn. Maybe I shouldn't have done that, because this is going to allow this thing to recover, and that's really bad for me. I think what I should have done is sack Mew,
Which is what I'm going to do now in order to get that Blacephalon switching. Now, if he is Assault Vest, how much chip do I need to put him in range of Lucario Focus Blast? He needs to be down at like 30%. Jesus. He's gonna roost. Yeah, that crit Spadef drop was pretty brutal, right, guys? Man. Ain't that something? We're gonna go Blacephalon once again. And now we have to keep our Scarf, too. Great stuff. Now, a Spadef drop would be ungodly amazing. Yeah, wow, what a Spadef drop, man. Incredibly lucky, but we are playing Matt O'Shea. So I think this is a loss. Unless we get a crit Spadef drop. So we did about 25 last time. I think he's AV. I mean, there's no other play other than for him to flip turn, right? He just always flip turns. Which puts me in a terrible position. But I need this. Yeah, I lose because of that Spadef drop. Great stuff. Because he was able to position himself to get up a roost again when he shouldn't have been able to. So that's great. I guess the Spadef drop didn't really matter in that equation, but I think it's funny to add on, right? We got a flip turn. And we're gonna be in a shit spot. Great. Great stuff. Great stuff. Pokemon, Pokemon, Pokemon. Yeah, the Shadow Ball crit just fucking positioned him phenomenally. So we're gonna Toxic. Yes, he does just Psychic. A lot of nothing we can do about that. Good stuff from our hero here. We're gonna go Blacephalon. And from what position, what health are we at? 75 down to 38. We're just gonna Shadow Ball. I have to position myself in a Lucario endgame. If he sacks us and chokes, I think I win. No, because he could just go Sneasel after this. And then we're forced into a funny 50-50. Right. So he's gonna withdraw. Does he go Sneasel? Wow. Aren't you something, Matt O'Shea? I think Flamethrower just fucking won me the game, too. We're gonna go Luke. And yeah, that's a loss. Great stuff. That's the end of our season off of, Matt getting nice and lucky. What can you do, right? But I think this is a wrap. I shard here. We are going to see a Justified. Now, let's see something. How can we play best for his choke? Lucario. Sneasel. Let's see, Blacephalon did app damage, right? He's not Eviolite. Actually, he might be Eviolite. Wow, he's Eviolite Sneasel. Wow, wow, wow. So +1. No item. I do have to bullet punch. If he chokes and goes... Yeah, he's not going to. Wow! You are just, like, defensive... Okay. From here, we will extreme speed. Again, on a choke. Not going to choke. Curry with no life orb to Swampert. Yeah, unless he misclicks bullet punch, we lose. Wow. Wow. That was something. So, there's nothing I can do about that. I think I played well. I just couldn't position my Mew in ever again because I died to rocks. So, and then we instant lost to Latios as soon as it came in, and there wasn't really a position in which I could allow it to not come in. No, I'm pretty sure we don't kill with this, but it's worth checking. We do with a crit, so let's see it, baby. Give me the crit. Nope, we do not. So Matt O'Shea is gonna Matt O'Shea and kind of cheese us out of this one. I understand people might be upset that I said that, but like, I don't know. It's what happened. You know? It's what happened. And I don't really have another explanation other than that. And the only way we win this game is if he chokes and he goes hard sizzle right here to sack it off for some reason. But there's no reason for him to ever make that play. And we're gonna lose and our season's gonna be over. But again, what can you do? Hard scissor, show it to me. Hard scissor, show it to me. Okay, not scissor. Yeah, I don't know, maybe some BM shit, like, just not wanting the Latios to die, I don't know. Or just trying to save diff. I hope you get crit. Because it's annoying. So we're going to lose this game. I'm pretty frustrated. I think it held me cool this time, though, but we got cheesed. And there's not much I can do about it. Thanks for watching, guys. Later.